If you are a woman that's dating a man that's 10 or 15 years younger than you, here are some realities that you need to consider. He's 10, 15 years younger than you. So you have to think about that. He's going to always be comparing you to the younger woman. He'll be dating women his own age. And I don't care how fit you are, how good you look, how young you look. You probably look younger than him as it is today. You may look younger than him. You may look better and in better condition and fit than the woman his age. Still, he's going to be comparing you to that woman, that younger woman, because he can date a younger woman. So he's going to be comparing you that. And especially, you're going to be physically more responsible than him, and actually more established than him. And that's going to bother him no matter what he says. So these are things you need to consider. And it may be like that song by Steely Dan, Hey 19, we can't dance together. No, we can't talk it over. And if you don't know that song, I rest my case.
So
Listen, look, ladies, y'all should take offense. Any woman that's 15, 20 years her junior, y'all should take heavy offense to what she just said. She like, if you're an older woman, she said you could be fit, you most likely in better shape than younger women your younger boyfriend's age. Do y'all not hear the shade? That's why these old cougars and panthers and and Deirdre's, they can come up here talking this much because they know y'all blow out. You hit. She said, "Look at her. She fit. She more fit than 80% of the sisters that's younger than her. That's sick work." And she know it. She look like she got her real hair, and the face is given. She all of what 55, 60. And she beat y'all out with a little bit of femininity and some fitness. Y'all
so you think it's a good idea for these women, 55 plus, thinking they can date 35, 40-year-old men?
Yes. That's something that I preach. They should. But like she said,
now we got the men know. Do the men want them? But what do they want?
It ain't about. Listen here.
Depending on what they look like, the men might clash cheeks, but
that they ain't no real. Listen here. When they say dating, that's all I'm getting from that is clashing meats on a consistent basis. And that's it. But sisters like this, you gotta pay. She missing a lot of things out, and the biggest one is you gotta pay. Pay for him staying around. As a man will pay for a younger woman's cooperation in some instances, you're gonna pay for this younger man's cooperation like permanently, because he can always leave. No, hey Don Jeter, I'm serious. I ain't capping. But I'm talking about like on like a sponsorship type deal. Every last one of these sisters need to pay to play if they this age looking for a younger man.
So a little bit of a dating story time. Lately, I've been approached by a lot of younger guys. We'll say for me, younger is late 30s, early 40s. So I went out with this young guy, and he has a playlist on his phone.
This is Auntie Gatekeeper.
Yeah.
They're like a fetish, if you will, I guess.
Yes, sir.
For younger guys.
Yep. And why?
Depending on what they look like, it's a small percentage of them.
I don't see no harm in it. These sisters, how is one of these gatekeeping horned up cougars gonna hurt this young lad by just throwing him cootie cat all wild and walking a couple of dollars to put money in his Honda? I don't see the problem. It's a beautiful thing, I think. Nobody gets hurt. She getting some inkling of companionship, and he getting old box and a little bit of resources, and he building himself. Here we go. Here's my logic. No woman wants a man that don't know how to hunch. Now today, y'all can fight, y'all can argue if you want to. The dad is in. So these sisters like this, these old cougars, I challenge y'all. Bring up these young, nerdy dudes, throw that old peach cobbler on them, that old blackberry cobbler, and build them up so he can do something.
Well, hold on, Mr. Wall. I hear what you're saying. I hear you, right? I'm going to let this guy go. I think he can explain it better.
But still with this, a lot of women in their 40s are dating younger men. You call it dating? All right, well, it ain't marriage, and it ain't even relationships. Being side links, sneaky links, side chicks, or target practice for younger men or dating younger men. Do you know what dating means to men? Let me tell you what dating means to a man. It is trading food for, there's no commitment. We talk on the phone. I meet up with you every now and again. I feed you and I put this in your life. And sometimes you might even be paying. Depends on how good the cane is I'm slinging, right? You might be paying, you might be covering the cost of the Uber Eats, you know, for that late night come through 1-2. That 1-2 come through. Ladies, you are not men. You're not men. When you date down in age and enter into giving someone access, here's some real advice, okay? Like, let's be serious for a second, okay? You giving access to your body and it's not in lieu of a greater commitment, you are losing because you're not a man. If you're just giving away access to your body and getting pounded on because it's good sex, but it's not going to result in a relationship while you just keep getting older and older and older. And the older you get, the less likely you are to obtain a commitment. The smaller the pond gets that you're fishing in for a commitment. Now, for women, sex, whew, I mean, you can have sex until your titties hit the floor. And there's a fetish.
All right. So he hitting on what you hitting on. That's all they got at a certain age is that box.
Yes.
That's all y'all got. And if you want any sort of companionship, you must pay to play, ladies.
Yeah. Boom, shakalaka.
They don't want to hear that part. They don't want to hear that part.
I am not tripping. Listen here, we all have traveled certain paths through life. Try to tell you something. Get it's a win-win. I'm here for solutions. Y'all can say I'm capping all y'all want to. And I ain't talking about I'm talking about like, we talking about 20-year-old. We ain't talking about no 30-year-old man really depending on no old cougar. But he gonna be slanging the good meats and extractive resources as he should for an inkling of companionship. The best thing these sisters can do is get a cookbook, be more willing to rip the hip. So he come over, make him a mean meal. You understand? Throw that old cooter cat on him, and there you go. And fork over some bread. You know what I'm saying? Pay us with something. Fork over some frog skins, however much you can muster. Keep them coming back. It's a very simple strategy.
Okay. Now hold that thought. Because here we go. We got to be careful now. We're going to keep going down this rabbit hole. Because there's no limit, no bounds. Shout out to my man Serge. When we start going down these rabbit holes, there becomes no limits, no bounds, Mr. Walker.
That's true.
And now we're going to explore the dark side.
Hold on, one second. Now, like I said, this is a dangerous dance. You know, it can get weird. It can get very wonky because emotions can start to be had. You just can't be no lies if for the man. All right, we advocate for good men over here, and we don't advocate to be hurting women. So don't be over here lying to these old cougars. Don't get their emotions all wound up because they old and a little bit withered, but they still got emotions. So don't be telling her you love her and you only think about her. Don't do that, because even at 65, she willing to bust the windows out your car.
Like I was trying to tell Mr. Walker, there's no limit, no bounds. We done stepped in it. Now we got to walk it. Here we go.
The young love me. I'm talking about it be young 12th grade and all that. Say, ain't it? Nigga want some of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So wait. So Amy, you got picked up in high school. You want to go pick a nigga up in 12th grade?
Yeah, I got me a little young, but not that young.
So, you see
What?
what I'm saying?
What?
Then you start getting auntie gatekeepers like this. You know, they 35, 40 years old. I seen a guy, something I was watching today, he said he was sleeping with a woman. You know, it just be wild. These guys be 16, 15, sleeping with 40-year-old women. That's when you start getting yeah, they talking about yeah, you getting cattywampus now. Now they want that young meat.
Let's talk about it. Here we go. There is a slight difference. I believe, it's just my belief, I could be wrong. I'm a little screwed up in the head too. I don't believe that a young man is going to suffer the same kind of psychological damage that a young woman can experience from this type of effed up hood norm. It's just my look on it.
Okay. So it's like somebody getting stabbed in the leg, somebody stabbed in the abdomen.
God damn it.
But I get it.
Yeah, you know what? To be fair, yes.
So
I'm glad. I'm glad we right here.
Yeah.
There was a teacher who was just arrested because she had an inappropriate relationship with an 8th grader.
My God.
She also, it was so much so that she actually bought him a Glock.
Oh my God.
And they broke up because she wouldn't buy him another one. So
y'all see that? It just get darker and darker. You get this sister here. Now she's 34 years old. She got caught dating one of her 8th grade students to the point where she done bought this young man a Glocktavius. Holy hell. Yeah. Shout out to Glocktavius in the building.
Glocktavius went over there. This is a young, do y'all not, all y'all young men, all my strong, healthy boys out there, do y'all not remember your hormones back in high school? What is this? Is this middle school? Either or, this is sick work. That young boy, he ain't got no stop button. He was on her something vicious. When she woke up the next morning, she said, baby, where my purse at? She said, you like that new Glock, huh? You want that, what gen? 3rd generation? Glock 40? You need the stick? You need the stick on the pole, up on the ops.
That part. So here we go. That's what I said. We can't allow women to do it because they have no limits, no bounds. I would say men have more discernment, we should, because there'll be punishment from the group, like something you just hit on. You said women, grown women will sit in the room. There'll be women, 25, 30, 40-year-old women sitting in the living room. And so, like you said, somebody, oh, your son gonna be cute when he grow up and get all the girls. Oh, that's my boyfriend. Oh, when you get older, you mine. Nobody bats an eye. Men can't operate like that because the group, us other men, we don't play them games. So we ain't gonna sit in the room with no man operate like that. It's atonement.
Yes.
And like I said, when women can operate like that, they don't have no limits on themselves, and hence this woman.
Woo. Yeah. See, here I go again, sitting here with egg on my face. Listen. So okay, shout out to Sergio. Yeah, we deep in this rabbit hole now. So, oh mercy. I tried to make sense of it. Guess not. I guess Bonquisha can't control her meats. Like I said, I can't defend that. I can't defend that position. I can't. Not when it gets this. Had no idea. And here we go. She's an educator, right? This is a teacher. How much more responsible can we ask an individual to be than be an educator, educating the youth? She up here educating the youth, hunching and giving the youth polls, and she getting polled from the youth.
So here we go. I'm gonna let this video finish. I'll let it finish.
So what is your stance on young niggas right now?
That's too young.
Because there's a lot of young niggas out there.
That's too young. And I be messing with the young niggas. I ain't gonna lie. I like young niggas because you gonna meet some young niggas that's more on there's more niggas like.
Wait. So you saying there are some niggas that carry themselves more maturely though that could get your attention?
I got one right now that I'm talking about. Been on his job for the last 8 years. Got his own house and all that.
The young ninjas. The young ninjas, because they lay in that pit diet. And the old men don't want this woman. They got to go young to be desirable. A lot of these women have to go old, 70 plus, or young, 18 or younger. You know what I mean?
Yep. We're a young man that's going to hunch on anything. Yeah, see, there we go. That's not fair. Oh, yeah, that ain't fair. Because at a certain age, a young man, he gonna hunch on whatever is available at a certain age. Yeah. And that, so I say that to say it ain't fair. In that age, 9th, what grade was he in? 8th grade. He was still in middle school, about to go to high school.
At best, he flunked one time. He may have been a 9th grader at best. You know, may have been a year behind.
Y'all know what hormones was like at that age. They was uncontrollable. Y'all remember walking around the hallways with y'all textbook on y'all in front of y'all. So, you know what I mean? Y'all won't be walking inappropriate. That's who she dealing with, that young boy whose meat got a mind of his own. Unfair, Bonquisha.
So when we start hitting on these modern women are desperate for love by any means, which is the title show, by any means they are desperate for this type of love, and we start saying should older women date younger, that's why we should put thresholds on this. I guess after all this intel we just brought in, are we saying we should put thresholds on this? Are we speaking of women 50 plus? Like we should be talking about women 35 years old talking about dating younger, 30, 28 years old talking about I'm dating younger.
There we go. I agree with that. Okay, here we are. We finding solutions for y'all. We pinpointing this. So if you want to be in the category of pay to play, oh sugar mama, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Betty Crocker cooking from scratch, sugar mama to one of these young stallions. What's the age limit? What we talking about? 50 and up? You know what I'm saying? By 50, you should have some dang on sense about you to know not to be buying some young boy a whole weapon. Like, come on, man. Like, where did that come into play? See, it was all good and well until she bought him a Glock.